So this past weekend, me and the wife sat down around the TV and we binged all of Alien Earth. This was a series that I've been highly anticipating, but I didn't watch it week to week. For a lot of reasons is me and my wife only see each other on the weekends, so we don't get to watch TV throughout the week. A lot of my friends are like, "Oh, have you seen this series and have you seen this series?" And I'm like, "No, I just haven't had time because me and my wife only get to see each other 2 days a week." So we have to kind of like pick and choose what we see. So for a lot of times, I like to let the series just completely finish and then just binge it and just knock it out of the way. I did the same thing with Peacemaker season one. I'm doing the same thing with Peacemaker season two. And of course, Alien Earth was something that I was highly anticipating. Whenever I come across a series that I think my wife would enjoy, I wait for her. If it's something like a Star Wars show or something like that, I would normally just watch that week to week because I know she has zero interest in it. So overall, Alien Earth, if you just want like my non-spoiler opinion, I think Alien Earth is definitely worth the watch. I really did have a great time watching this series. I was highly anticipating this series. I think that the front half of the series was much better than the latter half of it. I think the last two episodes, I really start to like critique a lot of the decisions and choices that the season made. And I assume this is just me assuming here that there's going to be a season two because I don't see why they would end the last episode the way they did if there's not going to be a season two. So right now I'm saying the word series because there has been no confirmation by, at least from what I understand, of a second season. So it's just, I'm going to say series a lot because it's a series I've been looking forward to. And hopefully we do get a second season because they really need to fix some of the problems. If you guys are sticking around here, new coming around, just do me a favor. Hit that like and subscribe button. It would help out a lot as we're trying to get to 29K here on the channel. So, my non-spoiler thoughts are basically simple. It's a great series. If you like the Alien property, you like the franchise, I think you're going to find a lot of enjoyment from these 8 episodes of the series or season one, however you want to look at it. So that is my non-spoiler thoughts of it. Now I'm about to get into some spoilers. So the premise of this series is that basically you have this boy genius, this prodigy, this guy that goes by the name of Boy Cavalier. Like he's a multi-trillionaire, and he comes up with the experiment of, hey, we're going to take these dying children who are dying from cancer and other illnesses, and they're going to transfer the consciousness of those dying kids into synthetics. Now, synthetics has always been like the thing in the Alien universe. Going back to the very first Ridley Scott Alien movie, you have like these robots, these androids that are synthetics. They are not real humans. Well, now you have this trillionaire, this boy genius who decided, hey, we're going to transfer consciousness into a synthetic. So they will have all their emotions and feelings as if they were still alive, but now they have a synthetic body. And that goes into its own sorts of problems later on as the season progresses and all that. But it was a very like interesting take in it because you would think that someone would try to do that. And there's like these 5 corporations basically running Earth. You have the Whalen Corporation, you have Boy Cavalier's Corporation, then you have 3 other corporations. And basically, the way the show starts off is you have a spaceship out in space trying to collect specimens, different alien species, and all that. And Boy Cavalier sabotages the craft to crash land in his city, so he has the opportunity to go and steal those specimens from, I believe, the Whalen Corporation. He sends the synthetics out there, and it gets into this whole situation. One thing that is constantly talked about throughout the season is Peter Pan, because Boy Cavalier looks at himself as like Peter, and then even his first synthetic that he transfers the conscious to, he names her Wendy's. So you have like, Peter Pan, Wendy, and the Lost Boys, which are the synthetics and stuff. But then it starts to run into its own problem where the synthetics, there are still, regardless of them being an adult body, they are still kids. And by the way, I just want to point out that the acting across the board is phenomenal. Like these actors actually act like they're real kids. Like they act like they're teenagers, and it's really good acting across the board from everybody. The standout, of course, is I believe his name is Chris Kirsa. The actor is Timothy Aflont. I probably butchered his last name, but this dude is amazing. He was in Scream 2, Die Hard. He was in Mandalorian, I believe, season 2. Like, this guy is everywhere. And he's just one of those actors that is absolutely phenomenal. Unfortunately, I feel like they dropped the ball with him toward the end of the season, but he was really, really good. He also plays a synthetic who works for Boy Cavalier. And Boy Cavalier is on this island. He's surrounded by different synthetics that he has created. And what I really liked about the first half of this season was it very much felt like an Alien movie brought to the small screen. And the first 3 episodes was really solid. The first 3 episodes takes place on the crash ship, and the one character, the one synthetic, her brother's on the ship, and they go in, try to save. Boy Cavalier wants them to steal the specimen, so that's what they do. And the first 3 episodes I thought were phenomenal. Then it gets a little slower with 4 and 5. 6 was the best episode. That was the peak episode, which takes place before the first episode on how the ship crashes, and it follows. It really feels like an Alien movie done in one episode. It was phenomenal. I absolutely loved it. And unfortunately, the last 2 episodes kind of really fell apart, where it no longer became a Alien series, where it felt more like it was about like AI and synthetic series. If you guys ever seen the movie Ex Machina with Oscar Isaac, how he creates these AI robotic life forms, eventually the AI robotic life forms take over. That's basically the premise of this. It gets to the point where the children's synthetic no longer want to be controlled, so they start to act out. There's like a whole subplot with this one guy trying to control the one synthetic to help him bring the specimens to him so he can bring it back to his corporation. So he's kind of being forced to do things. His family's in trouble. Then you got the other synthetic boy trying to help him. Like, it really kind of gets into all these different subplots with these children's synthetics. You have one that thinks she's pregnant, and like they really do a good job with the subplot of it, but they dive so heavily deep into the subplot that it kind of loses focus of the alien part of it, which I think a lot of people tuning into an Alien series really wants to focus on the alien drama, not much the synthetic drama. But it kind of keeps going in that route. And then you have Wendy, who's constantly rebelling because of her love for her brother, her remembering the past. And it gets into this whole thing where she can start controlling the xenomorphs. She can talk the language of the xenomorphs and really bend the xenomorphs to her will. I think where they really dropped the ball with this season is with the character that I enjoyed, Christ. I think he's really, really awesome, but it looked like they were building a storyline where he was actually like a double agent, where he was actually working for the Whaling Company, because it gets to a point in the season where the 2 boys are stealing specimens. He finds out, he's got the video feed, but he's keeping it from his boss, Boy Cavalier. He's keeping it from him. He's actually helping the boys, tell him like the best escape route and everything. But then he doesn't really, he doesn't turn on Boy Cavalier. In fact, when the children take over the island, they capture him as well. Tie him up, and kind of put him in the same cell as all the other adults on the island. And I was just confused by that. It was like, this was a character who is your big star character. It looked like he was playing both sides, and his allegiance was to another corporation. He's helping these kids, and it feels like that he actually has some connection with these kids, but then the kids turn on him, tie him up. It was just very, very sloppy of how the last 2 episodes was done. And the way the last episode ended, it ended on a cliffhanger that I was like, wow, that I did not like that. I felt like they didn't stick the landing when it came to this series. I thought the first 3 episodes was phenomenal. 4 and 5 was building up the story of these kids and Boy Cavalier and the island. Episode 6 was hands down the greatest episode of the season. And then I felt like episode 7 and 8 really kind of dropped the ball, unfortunately. But overall, I really enjoyed the season. Like, even with the last 2 episodes not really panning out to what I feel like they were building up too, and how I feel like they lost the plot of the aliens and the xenomorphs and stuff that they could actually do. I feel like a second season could really fix all that. And much like The Acolyte, which is clear the story was supposed to continue, but it got canceled. Hopefully, Disney and FX they continue on because I believe the ratings are really good. A lot of people are talking very highly about this series, and I think they got a great foundation. Build the second one, have some anarchy happen on the island, let the other corporations try to go in, get the specimens, have anarchy like there, and then just kind of like ease back on some of the children's synthetics. I think that when they started diving into the children's synthetics, kind of rebelling, I think that's when they kind of lost the plot for me. And I want to see them course correct that. Other than that, I thought it was really good. It had me intrigued. It was good enough to sit there for 8 hours straight, just binging it. And me and my wife, like, we were definitely invested into it. And that's a positive thing. That's all a positive thing. So, yes, I have nitpicks with the way the story went toward the end, but it's nothing that can't be course corrected in future episodes and future seasons. I think they have a winner here. I love to be in this franchise. I love to be in this universe, in this world, and learn more about these creatures. So that's my thoughts on Alien Earth. Have you guys seen it? Are you looking to get into it? Maybe give it a watch now that all 8 episodes are over. Please do me a favor. Hit that like, subscribe, leave your comments in the comment box below, and tell me what you think. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys all have a fantastic day. And until next time, as always, I am Robert Storms, and that's my opinion.